Michelle, thank you very much. Commitment 2020. Now, many North Carolina voters, no matter where they live, will likely discover this election they no longer have the same representation in Congress that they had the last time they voted. Redistricting has combined voters in Guilford and Forsyth counties, who now make up the 6th congressional district in our state. As a result, they'll be choosing between Republican Lee Haywood and Democrat Kathy Manning. It is the focus of our 2020 commitment coverage. Bill O'Neill joins us now with the story.
Ordered by the courts to make changes, lawmakers have transformed North Carolina's 6th congressional district. It is a seat held by Republicans for more than 3 decades. Now it favors Democrats. Lee Haywood and Kathy Manning offer voters a clear difference on almost every issue, starting with the pandemic. Do you think the president has done a good job handling the pandemic?
Well, it's not perfect by any means, but I think he's done the best he could. I bet you he regrets a lot of the things that he was advised to do.
How do you think the president has handled the pandemic?
Oh, it's been a disaster. He has absolutely failed to take the mantle of leadership that this president should have taken. From the beginning,
Manning says the president failed to create a national plan to deal with the pandemic, that he denied the seriousness of it and spread false information about the virus.
We need a leader who will pay attention to the doctors and the scientists, who will set the right example by wearing a mask. We can't get our economy going again until we get control over this virus.
Haywood says the president has done a good job balancing health concerns with economic concerns. He blames the pandemic for hindering what he calls a booming economy.
Thank God he's the one that's in charge while this is going on. I can't imagine. Elections have consequences, and I cannot imagine what we'd be going through right now if Hillary Clinton had won that election.
Another major difference between these two candidates is on the issue of health care. Where do you think that this country needs to go on health care? How far?
You know, it's really interesting. I think what we have seen in this pandemic is the impact of the lack of affordable health care for people.
Manning says she supports building on the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, and wants to add a public option.
We need to allow people to buy into Medicare at an earlier age. We must have our government negotiate with Big Pharma for pharmaceutical costs, just like they do for people who get their medications through the VA.
Our solution is better than the other solution, which is single payer socialized health care. The federal government is not capable of running a lemonade stand, let alone running our health care.
Haywood says he blames Senator John McCain for saving Obamacare and leaving the country without a market-based solution to health care. If there was a market-based answer, wouldn't it have come out by now?
Well, we haven't given it a chance. Nobody's come up with anything. Every time we're so fractured up there in Washington.
We asked both candidates about the relationship between African Americans and police. Your take on the Black Lives Matter movement?
The black population, the minority population in this country, has a lot of reason to be upset.
Do you believe black people and white people are treated the same by police?
I don't think blacks have been treated unfairly in a systematic way. I think it's individuals that have done this. There's bad actors in every organization, including the law enforcement agencies.
What is your own perspective on the Black Lives Matter movement? Do you believe that black communities and white communities are treated the same by law enforcement?
I think we have seen that there is systemic racism. I think we've seen it in many, many different ways.
How do you feel about defunding police?
Rather than talk about defunding police, I think we need to talk about investing in police training. Manning ran for Congress 2 years ago and lost to Ted Budd. Haywood is making his first run for political office. He's running instead of Mark Walker, who decided not to seek re-election. Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.